Hi, everybody. This is day 1556 days since Richard was premeditatedly murdered on Fort Bliss. It was a code red, and there were plenty of motives to code red Richard. He's a whistleblower for the criminal trafficking, and there were plenty of motives within Fort Bliss leadership to code red Richard because they were implicated. They are, we have confirmed it, they are compromised. They are compromised with the Mexican cartel. They are compromised with the rogue criminal group that has spent, near 4 years just trying to obstruct justice in this case in every way, weaponizing their roles, their positions, their tools, um, weaponizing anything that they could to stop this case from moving forward. Just like Joe Spencer with Judge Madrano in the Walmart case, they've done whatever they could, but they were a little bit more sly um, because they had the backroom deals, right? To seal and deal their deals. Um, Wheel and deal, I should say, wheel and deal and seal and wheel and deal. I'm gonna make some kind of neat rap song to that. The seal and deal while approving state and federal funds for their backroom deals to delay and steal their deals, and delay and seal their deals. Um, yeah, and also delay and seal the truth in their deals because of what they were sealing in their backroom deals, and then Judge Madrano approving millions of dollars in funding, knowing that he had made deals to delay and seal deals in the back room. Okay, that's has to be a rap song. That has to be. I'm working on it. Working on it. I got to be clever today to um, give you the information so that you can remember it, so that we can get accountability in In El Paso for the Walmart case, in El Paso for Richard's case. And, when we get accountability for these cases, um, the Walmart case and Richard's case, it's the same case, right? It's not by accident that it's the same case, that it's the same signature on both cases. And we have evidence, and we shared a little bit just a few minutes ago. We have evidence, sorry, I'm making sure I'm on Facebook so I can see who's on and answer any questions. Um, but we just provided just a little bit, just a couple of photographs of evidence of the signature of tampering. Um, you've got to have the forensics matching up with the cases, among other evidence. You know, um, we have become investigators. We have become paralegals. We've become media podcasters. We have become activists doing all those rallies. Uh, in the pursuit, we have become a Gold Star family. So, and we want accountability, and we want Richard's remains. And as we have obeyed what the Army has asked from us, and we have filed and turned it in, we have, we didn't stop with the CID. We went to the IG. We went to the Internal Affairs. We went to, of course, all the way up to the FBI. We went to the CIA. We went to many, many different agencies and organizations and political figureheads. And it's interesting because most of them, most of them, uh, well, I shouldn't say most, a huge portion of them are stiffs. I was listening to one of the Trump's podcasts, and he was like, "Or they're stiffs," and then I think it was Joe Rogan, this Joe Rogan podcast, and he goes, "Well, what are stiffs?" And he goes, "Well, they just don't do anything, right? They're just stiff. They just don't do anything. They're just trying to hold on to their job. They've got these cushy jobs, and they want to go play golf and go to their country clubs, and they're just stiffs. They just hold on." And it was like, okay, now I understand. So I think I'm learning how to do politics too. It's it really has been a huge education. Um, not that I wanted to, that I asked for it or anything. I just want to know where my son is. I want to know what happened to him. I want to know where his remains are, and I want accountability for all of the lies and cover up and the absolute dismemberment and murder of my beautiful son, the taking of his life, um, and all the lives that would have come from him. You understand? That's why, if you understand biblical law, and I might not understand Texas Constitution, even though I'm getting pretty good, or the United States Constitution, even though that's improving too. Um, but I do understand biblical law, and when you murder, when you, let's just say this, if I steal a piece of jewelry from somebody, I my penalty is to give it back double. So if the necklace is worth $1,000, I have to give it back and pay $1,000, so that the person that it was stolen from receives their necklace back or the price of it back, and then double that price, another 1,000, for restitution. For restitution. And that way there's forgiveness, because someone that has received their necklace back plus $1,000 is then very able to forgive the thief. But when somebody comes and kills your prize cow that gives you milk every day, the penalty is fourfold. It's the cow times 4. Because you're not only killing the cow, you're killing all the work you've put into the cow, and all the milk, the butter, the cream, the cheese that would come from the the other calves. And so the penalty is greater. So when you murder somebody's son, the penalty is the death penalty. Because how do you replace something so precious that is progeny? That's the future. All of his children that would have come from him. And through the generations. The musicians, the entrepreneurs, the artists, the street builders, the roofers, the chefs. You can't replace that. The damage is so big. The violation is so big that God requires your life for what you did. When you murder someone in cold blood, intentionally, and in Richard's case, it was premeditatedly, on purpose, an order, a code red, and on a military installation. And so not only was something so precious, someone so precious, taken from our family, but he was a soldier. He was taken from the Americans, from the United States. He was government issue, right? GI. So the penalty is rightfully so, the death penalty. Because there's nothing in restitution that you can pay to make up for the damage that you did. And Richard's case is connected to the Walmart mass shooting. We believe that the Walmart mass shooting was orchestrated by this rogue criminal group and connected with Fort Bliss, and of course they're compromised with the Mexican cartel. And the reason for it, we believe, was because a few reasons. But one of those reasons was to divert attention from the ongoing active investigations that were started partially, not only, but partially, probably mostly, by Richard's whistleblower complaints, which caused audits on Fort Bliss. And the audits were weapon audits, and we have that confirmed. That is confirmed and corroborated confirmed. There's no doubt about that. And so Fort Bliss leadership that, remember, they were going under the absolute chaos of scrutiny from the Vanessa Guillen case, the finding of her dismembered burnt remains that had been bludgeoned to death after being sexually harassed. Um, that it was just for them. It drove the system to have to fire, to have to, and it was very minimum. I think it was very minimum what they suffered compared to what the crime was. And they had to work very, very hard to manipulate everything to save their asses. Some people weren't saved as far as their jobs go. Some lives were lost, right? Uh, well, a life was lost and one was put in prison. Um, so you have to remember this was 2020. This was that Cobra Strike era, the insanity that was thrust upon the world. It was the Vanessa Guillen chaos. It was also an election year. And of course, the orchestration of the Walmart mass shooting was absolutely election interference. That's very, very clear. And we have made the case. We have made the case behind the scenes, 4 years of collecting loads of hard evidence, circumstantial evidence, and irregularities. And we're sharing just a bit tonight with you. I shared 2 pictures on Facebook and on X. One is of a man. If you go to it, and maybe I'll try to put it up here. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah. See if yep, there it goes. Okay. There it is. Okay, if everyone can see that. So, I'm learning how to be a tech person too. So here is this picture. This was released by the law enforcement, okay? And this is supposed to be a hero, very, that they were looking for, okay? I don't know. That's not important in this scheme of things. And I don't know if I can show it, but if you enlarge it and look at the timestamp is what's very interesting here. And where am I going with this? With Richard's case. Richard's case, his Interpol photograph was not him. It was tampered with. We were given a travel voucher that was clearly tampered, manufactured. And Dallas Hart couldn't argue that point with us. It was clearly, I don't think he's going to be able to argue the point. And Richard's file has been tampered with. And Richard's file multiple times has been tampered with. And in other institutions, Richard's file has been tampered with. So there's a lot of tampering, and that's the theme. That's the theme. And in the Walmart mass shooting case, there's so much evidence of the tampering. So much tampering. And, you know, the tampering is, it's the same signature. It's the same MO, as many say in the law enforcement world, the MO, modus operandi, or something like that. Um, it's the same, like if I go to an art show, and I love art, and I love to look at art. If I read beautiful poetry or beautiful art, like if I'm reading Charles Dickens, if I'm reading Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, um, if I'm reading Jane Austen, right? You know them. You know their writing. You don't even have to look at the author for the next. When you come across it, you can just say, "Oh, this is a Jane Austen. Oh, this is a Shakespeare. Oh, this is whatever your favorite author is, right?" Um, I don't read much nonfiction. I mean, fiction stuff. I like to read nonfiction. Um, so it's like, but that's why I like Charles Dickens, or even Shakespeare, because it's so nonfiction to me. It's just so like real life, right? It's like, so what exactly happens? It's just amazing. As far as the nature of the people go, and how things develop amongst people. But anyway, but you can tell it's the same signature. And with art, uh, you can tell by the shades of the color, the thickness of the lines, the topics, right? The topics, uh, uh, the medium. You can tell by the medium. Even if they change mediums, you can tell by the medium, the way they use the medium. You can tell that it's the same artist. And, that's why you look at nature or something natural, you absolutely see the signature of the hand of God. Um, you just absolutely know this is the hand of God. This is the creator. His handiwork is on it all. And in Richard's case and the Walmart case, um, it's the same signature. It's the same MO. It's the same colors, thickness of lines. The medium is used, even though they're different mediums. You can tell it's the same rogue criminal group, because it's the same spirit. The evil spirit behind it is the same. And if it's by environmentalists, if it's by uh, military, you know, you know. If you go into chat groups, you know exactly what kind of chat group you're going into. It has a certain spirit. And so the Walmart mass shooting case and Richard's case has, like I said, so many similarities that leave their fingerprint, that identify the perpetrators of one to the other, and vice versa. And I hope that makes sense. And this picture that I have up of this hero from the Walmart mass shooting, that I think it was, just days later, they put it up. I wrote down, because this, of course, the Walmart mass shooting was August 3rd, 2019. And I thought I wrote it down, the exact date. Yes, April 16th, 2019 is when law enforcement put this, and you can find it for yourself. You can find it. You can go to a site and find it. Some of them don't have the timestamp, and that's what we're really looking at here. It's not really of this man. It's not really of his arm. It's not really of the lady behind him holding on uh, to the hand of her child or grandchild. I think it's her child. Um, you know, and there's many little details in this picture. But clearly, we have to look at the overall feeling of the picture. It's not one of chaos. It's not one of bloody murder. Um, it's not one of a crime scene, right? And yet, the timestamp is August 3rd, 2019 at 11:05, 37 seconds, right after the Walmart mass shooting. It's supposed to be a crime scene at that time. You understand? This picture with this timestamp does not make any sense. Something has been tampered here because the timestamp is shortly after the massacre in that area. Right there. Right there where those people are. It's not of a bloody scene. There's no police. There's no crime scene tape. There's no panicked people. Something is very strange here. It's been tampered with. And it doesn't say August 16th, 2019. It says August 3rd, 2019. So I don't know. Um, the point is, it's been tampered with. Now, the next thing, last night, thank you, Anicia. Thank you, Danielle. That doesn't look like a panic or chaos. No, it doesn't. Something is fishy. And remember that, I think it was yesterday or day before, I made the announcement that we had received word from Austin that it was okay to say that it looks like there were more shooters, or that the exact wording was Patrick Crusius was not alone. Did not work alone. Did not work alone. And, when you're in law enforcement, and all the letters that we have received back and communication, and some of them, at the beginning, it's like, wow, they're very vague. They're very vague. But, you have to learn how to read what they're saying to you. And they have to be very careful, because we do have the presumption of innocence in this country. And we appreciate that they're careful. And so the evidence is mounting. We know that there's been 5 years, there's no excuse. But see, that rogue group is, uh, let's just say that in the hearing a couple days ago, Joe Spencer, who's supposed to be like totally neutral I mean, not, I don't think he should be neutral. He's a defense lawyer with, I think, 13 others, right? 13, and that's including paralegals. This is millions of dollars that have been thrown into this case. And yet, 2 days ago, they admitted, Joe Spencer and Judge Medrano admitted that they had committed unlawful conduct with these backroom deals, that they sealed truth, sealed evidence, sealed information. I think they did it over 120 times. It's not like one little backroom deal. In 5 years, they have been sealing over 120 orders to keep the case in delay, to keep it from going forward, even though the very judge that made the deal to keep it from going forward approved the funding, the state and federal funding for the defense of Patrick Crusius and the prosecution, but for the defense. Why? He's from a family of means. Why does the taxpayer, state and federal, have to foot the bill for the defense of Patrick Crusius? And then, can you imagine? We have been so duped because they have been making deals, secret deals, in the back room to delay, and not even that, but to keep it from going forward, to take all the fuel out of it and seal important information. Over 120 orders sealed. Think about that. And all this on millions and millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Just for this case. And here we have this picture that is clearly tampered with. And we are denied a trial to hear an explanation of what the hell is going on. Can we get a refund? It's, when are they going to put Joe Spencer and Judge Medrano in handcuffs? And why would they want to stop all the evidence from being exposed? Because that's what those deals are for. If you don't want a case to go to trial, and look, this is a dream case for someone like Joe Spencer because he has the forensics, he has the bodies, he has the bullets, he has the manifesto, he has he has the witnesses, he has so many witnesses, he has the confession, he has it all. He has the CCTV footage. Why is he making a secret deal in a back room to keep all of that information from being put out in the public through a trial. Why is he doing that? And to seal it. So if I want an open records, oh, it's sealed. It's sealed. We got to protect. We got to protect. No, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? And so we believe, and we should easily get this information. We pay for it. I mean, 23 people were killed, 23 injured. We should get this information. Who is this man? Right? Um, I believe we know who he is. I mean, they say who he is, but then some things don't add up. So, who is he really? And we believe that they are stalling and stopping this case from going to trial, doing all kinds of things to do it in order to keep, well, Richard Halliday's truth has is beneath this case. They're hiding, they're concealing Richard Halliday's truth. And because of the audits, because of what he was revealing, because they're the same signature. It's the same signature. It's the same artist, the same criminal rogue group from the original response team. It's the same. And so this leads to the next picture, the next little bit of evidence. And this is a very telling piece of evidence here. So for over a year, has it been? I don't know. Months and months, I should say. I want to be very accurate. If I say months and months, I'm accurate. I have been saying that Patrick Crusius has autism. I was very confident in that, because I've worked with children with autism, and you know, um, when I heard the neighbors of Patrick Crusius say that when he was 3, he was banging his head on the concrete sidewalk, um, I knew, I knew, and that was Joe Spencer had to come out and confirm it. And when he came out and confirmed it just recently, um, we were grateful. We knew for sure that Patrick Crusius had a severe mental health condition, and now we were proven right by our assessment. We didn't have the mental health evaluation. That was sealed, right? That was conducted in 2023, um, and it was sealed. And this little paper here that was signed on August 4th, 2019, shows a huge derelict of duty in the person that processed this. There should absolutely have been an immediate mental health evaluation on Patrick Crusius. This is from the form. I have the top part of the form also that they filled out to get the funding, to get the state and federal funding. And, the bottom half, I mean, the whole thing is pretty interesting. I should probably post the whole thing. But this really shows you his signature, um, which displays clearly that he has a severe mental health condition. And I'm just wondering, um, because the other information that we have, clearly this paper is not filled out properly. It's the same signature of tampering, and I would even say lies, because one, Patrick Crusius's car did not have front license plates. Okay, it's kind of like that Mercedes. Now, the Mercedes was a big deal because Richard sent us that picture um, in December of 2019. Um, it didn't have front license plate because, we lived in Texas. I grew up in Texas. Um, I know Texas pretty well. You should have a front license plate. There's no front license plate and on those cars. And it's like, why don't those cars have front license plates? Well, you know, probably because they're registered in New Mexico. Oh, really? New Mexico. Okay, that would make sense. New Mexico is very close to El Paso. New Mexico. Why in New Mexico? Um, there's no front license plate required in New Mexico. Okay. That makes sense for Dallas Hart because he went to New Mexico State University. Does Patrick Crusius go to New Mexico State University? I don't know. I don't know, but I do know that it has a a major autism um, faculty and program there. Okay, you can just look it up. It has a major one. So I don't know. But I do know this. I know that he was not living in Allen, Texas, that he was living in San Antonio, and it was a very expensive apartment there. And the documents prove that he was living in San Antonio. Um, I don't know if it's part time. I don't know. I don't know why his car that he was driving didn't have a front license plate. Okay. Um, my point that I'm trying to make here is that things don't add up. There's a lot of manipulation, there's a lot of tampering, just like in our son's case. It's like the same people, it's the same artist, it's the same criminal group, same rogue criminal group. It's, it's the same thing. So, in so many aspects of tampering and irregularities and things that didn't add up in our son's case, it's the same thing in the Walmart case. And I think that is um, the main point for tonight. And we have so much to prove that. So let me read the comments. That doesn't look like a panic. Are they sealed because they are minors? Patrick Crusius wasn't a minor. What do you mean minor? No, these were sealed deals. Like one of the things that were sealed um, that came out, and I should probably list them, is that they had made a deal that Patrick Crusius would not get a mental health evaluation. Okay, that was the deal. The deal was thwarted in 2023. And we believe that it was by um, Loretta Lynn Hewitt. Okay. So she's been subpoenaed, and that's coming up on the 31st. It's going to be very interesting to hear what she has to say. And I think we'll get some answers there. And this proves a point, too, that we need a hearing, right? We need a hearing, and we get answers from hearings, and we get evidence explained to us in hearings, and evidence presented, and arguments made on both sides what the evidence means, and witnesses come forward. And this is what we need. And we have over 5 years, and they have worked on one thing, and that is to stop the Walmart case from moving forward. And I should say two things, and to um, request and accept the state and federal funding in millions of dollars. So when we believe it was at the time Loretta Lynn Hewitt, maybe at the request of the jail, because clearly you can see by Patrick Crusius's signature there. Clearly, that's the focus of this paper, but the real focus is that the paper seems to be tampered with and has lies. It's lying in order to get the funding. Okay? Seems to be, and that needs to be cleared up in a court. So there's two pictures there that have some real questions that need to be answered. And yeah, they've worked very hard on getting the funding and making sure this case doesn't go forward and covering up the evidence. So the evidence would be oops, there was a mental health evaluation conducted, but now we're sealing the results. That's one of the things that were sealed. So the deal to not have one, and the deal to seal it, right, when it did happen. So, because, a lot of time goes by, and, maybe at the request of the jailer, hey, Loretta Lynn, you're in charge of this Walmart mass shooting case. I got to know how to deal with Patrick Crusius. We need someone in here to tell us what he's thinking, and what his severe condition is all about. So, that might be how it happened. I don't know. Maybe on the 31st we will find out. So we also need a hearing for our son's case. There's so many questions, and we have requested a congressional hearing. We had a soldier that had requested a hearing. He was so bullied, y'all. They sent him off. They deployed him. They bullied him even where he was deployed. Um, they want to keep, it's the same signature, the same tactics, the same MO. That's what I'm saying. They want I'm suppressing a yawn, y'all, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm suppressing a yawn. Um, so it's the same MO, and they don't want the evidence from going forward. That's what it is. They don't want anyone to see the evidence. And, you know, the big evidence in our son's case is his remains, right? Is his remains. And they're keeping that from us. So, minor victims' information remains sealed and confidential, usually in most cases. Well, Patrick Crusius getting his funding or his mental health evaluation or, uh, all the other sealed information, um, he wasn't a minor, right? Was he a minor? I don't think he was a minor. I think he's 26 now. I think he was 21 when it happened. Um, they could tell us if he was enrolled at New Mexico State University. I have a hard time. I mean, look, my focus is on the tampering and the irregularities that are so glaring that need to be answered. And the only way to answer that is through a trial, right? Is through a trial. And I'm it's hard for me to believe that Patrick Crusius could even drive and then go and um, get something to eat and go into Walmart. Like 3 times he went into Walmart, go out to his car, put on um, his ear protections, his eyes protection, get his purchase a weapon through the mail, uh, purchase his ammunition through the mail, get all that ready, put it in his car, drive all the way there, go and eat, go in there 3 times, go to the parking lot, put on all of the protective gear, get his weapon ready, walk into the Walmart and do whatever, right? Um, I'm having a hard time. And then to go back to the car, do it all very cleanly and neatly, not one spot anywhere on his clothes. I didn't see a spot anywhere on his clothes, y'all. Not a spot. That's another picture I've put up that is just so full of irregularities. I mean, it's the strangest picture when he surrendered himself to the Hispanic officer that didn't even bag his hands, didn't even read him his Miranda rights. No Miranda rights, okay? Um, and and he had these white soled tennis shoes like on. No, they were totally clean, like brand new. Um, Clean pants, clean shirt, his car with no front license plate, and wow, those are a lot of irregularities, and I'm having a hard time looking at that signature, thinking that this young man could do that alone. And now we know because Austin says he wasn't alone. He wasn't alone. He wasn't alone. Who was with him? Praying for you and Mr. Halliday. You work so hard. You go to bed late and wake up early, praying for your health, strength, and justice. Thank you so much. And, we thank God all the time because He has given us His strength. Before this all happened, I'm going to tell you, I was like a 10:30, 11 o'clock in bed type person, right? 10:30, 11 o'clock, I was in bed, get up, 5:30, 6 o'clock, that's just was my life. I always tried to get up and get dressed before the kids got up. I wanted to be dressed before they, because it was too hard to get myself ready um, once they woke up, right? So it was like, no, I'm going to get up, get all ready, have my coffee, and then they can wake up, right? And I wanted them up. I wanted them up, late as 6:30 because, we were homeschooling. And, if you let the day go by, you won't be able to get anything done. So um, that was the normal life. Now it's, God has given us the strength. It's very late. But, this is a special time. Our son needs us. Our family needs us. El Paso needs us. Our military needs us. The migrants that have been trafficked over need us. The those that live in Juarez, Mexico need us. The American people need us. Um, the whole judicial system and law enforcement system in El Paso has been compromised, y'all. Has been compromised. I mean, when you have individuals posing as judges illegally, when you have a chief medical examiner expecting to take $430,000 a year from the people, but he's illegal. He's illegal with bad intentions. That's so criminal. That's so criminal. And then a usurper DA that is surrounded by those that, are walking on pins and needles because it's all politics. And they're afraid to lose their jobs. Everyone doesn't want to lose their job, especially in this kind of economy. You don't want to lose your job. So we're being very patient, understanding, uh, but it's we have to tell the truth. And Bill Hicks absolutely is a usurper. And Joe Spencer, with a defense lawyer like him, who needs an enemy? Who needs a prosecutor when you have a defense lawyer like him? And, and his team that has a heavy weight. Look, Mark Stevens was, you know, he looked like he was sleeping. He looked like he was sleeping next to Patrick Crusius, who's, emotionless, facing the death penalty, being totally ill defended by his multi-million dollar team, and he's emotionless. That's a crazy thing. And then the Mormon lawyer that uh, colludes with little Lonnie Hart. It's all connected, y'all. It's all connected, and colludes with, don't forget, DES, Thomas Kane. It's a big, you know, none of this could really go forward without all these breaches of security, right? So it's we'll just put out bits and bits and bits, and it's like a big story that you have to take in little at a time to wrap your head around, to understand that Richard's truth is beneath the Walmart mass shooting case. They buried it there. And they're connected. They're intertwined. And so, and the same tampering, same fingerprints everywhere in both cases. And that's the message for today. So thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.